there, everybody. Welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Lauri Albert. I am your host, Lauri Albert, and I am so glad that you guys are here tonight. Spiritually Speaking is a show that embraces everything spiritual. We have spiritual discussions. We have a call-in line, which you can call in for a reading, because I am a medium and a psychic, so feel free to call in. I will have guests on the show occasionally, and yeah, it's just a fun show where we get to talk about anything and everything having to do with spirituality. So I love that, right? I have a whole bunch of segments that I've come up with, right, for the show, and yeah, we just do all sorts of different type. We talk about all sorts of different types of things. So, but I always start out with Spiritually in the News and our astrological forecast for the week. Okay, so this astrological forecast is actually for the entire upcoming week. So it's like from yesterday until next Sunday. Okay, and it's for all the signs. Okay, I had a couple of questions about that last week. So yeah, it's for all the signs. It's like a general astrological forecast. So there you go. And it's Christopher Renstrom. If you're interested in finding out more about him, he is fantastic. Oh my gosh, he is. I swear, yesterday I wasn't feeling well, and his daily forecast was, it wasn't this verbatim, but it was like, don't poo-poo the little aches and pains. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Oh my God, you know? So yeah, he's like right on. It's like amazing. So I'm going to get right into this, and I'm going to read to you the astrological forecast for this week. This is rulingplanets.com, and it's Christopher Renstrom. And if you're curious and you didn't hear what I just said, it's on the last screen, the last slide of the screen of the show, so you can do that. Okay, so this is it. September 18th through 24th, and this week I have my glasses because, you know, I am getting a little bit older. Anyway, so he may seem warm-hearted and open-minded, but is that really what he's like underneath? It's a question worth asking when Mars, the planet of men, forms an opposition to Neptune in Pisces on September 24th. There's something. Neptune has a tendency to bring out the repressed qualities of people when they aren't looking. Oh my, right? It kind of works like Wonder Woman's magic lasso. It forces those under its spell to tell the truth despite their best efforts to cover it up. Can anybody think politics right now? I'm sorry. Seriously? Okay. I'm not going to say any more, but wow. Okay. This might come out as a slip of the tongue, a joke that's more telling than funny, or an irrational rant that explodes out of nowhere. This won't jibe with the picture you had of the sensitive guy you thought you were getting to know. But don't ignore the signals. Don't ignore the signals. They may be your cosmic cue to wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the coffee. And there we have that. So just be the guy that you thought you knew, because it's a man thing. It's not even a woman thing. Imagine that. So I thought that was kind of really interesting, right? So also too, I wanted to talk about today, Spiritually in the News, the earthquake that just happened. Yeah, well, we had an earthquake last night in Los Angeles, right? And it freaks so many people out, right? It always freaks everybody out, right? Especially when it's like in sort of the populated area like that. So yeah, so that was kind of pretty intense. I wouldn't say intense, but it was, you know, it was tough to go through, right? I personally didn't feel it. I know a lot of people that did, and I know a lot of people that were kind of freaked out, but you know, it is what it is. But I'll tell you what, there was a major earthquake in Mexico City today, actually just a few hours ago, I believe. And yeah, it was kind of, yeah, I've been, and I will, the reason why I'm bringing that up as Spiritually in the News is because all day today, I have been feeling, and this might be because of the earthquake last night, but I've been feeling just discombobulated, right? I forgot. Okay, so those of you that know me know I like wear my bracelets. every day. I mean, that's just what I do. I don't know why. It's just who I am, right? I forgot to wear my bracelets today. Oh my God. You know, but seriously, I mean, you forget stuff, you know? And so like, yeah, things have been a little bit off yesterday and today. So yeah, I'm thinking that's because the energy of the planet is just a little bit off. When these earthquakes happen and these hurricanes happen, the energy of Mother Earth is just a little bit off. So just be aware, take care of yourself, you know, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, so I'm going to tell you guys about that. Then, you know, this isn't quite spiritually in the news, but this is really kind of a cool thing. Today, actually, this isn't spiritually in the news at all. This has more to do with the topic of my topic for the day. Oh, although I want to make sure you guys know, if you're just listening, first of all, the spirit line is below. It's the spirit line is area code 818-835-5885. And if you'd like a reading, or if you have a question, or if you just want to call in and talk about something spiritual, I would love to have you call. So there you go. Feel free to call in. Now's your chance. So at any rate, yeah, I'd like to tell that to you because my topic for the day today, it's so synchronistic because I usually decide a week. Well, if I'm not going to have a guest, I usually decide at least a week in advance of what the topic's going to be, right? So this week, I knew that I wanted to further the conversation because I didn't talk too much about it last week, but how to like create more happiness habits in your life, right? And that sort of thing. Because I think that is so important, especially nowadays with the energy on the planet, right? So at any rate, I'm going through my Facebook page, and all of a sudden there was this one group that I'm part of, I guess you could say. It's the Edgar Cayce group. And if you don't know who Edgar Cayce is, he lived in the early 1900s, okay? And he was basically called the sleeping prophet, okay? He was sort of known as the father of holistic medicine, right? So what he would do is he would go into like this, he would go to sleep or in like a meditative state, something along those lines, and he would diagnose illnesses, you know, just reveal things. And then he would tell people, you need to do this, you need to do that. But he would also talk about things that were happening, things that were coming up. He would sort of predict things in the future and that sort of thing, right? So at any rate, I love this group and I love being able to follow them because there's always really interesting stuff on there. Edgar Cayce is huge. I can't think of the name of the book. It's called A River. Something about a river, and I'll get that and put it on my website, and I'll put it on Facebook so that you guys know that. But yeah, he's an amazing guy. But anyway, so I was reading this, or I was scrolling through Facebook, and they were talking about there was this like seminar happening, and this is so fascinating and so amazingly cool that I wanted to share this with you because it has to do with my topic for the day. This guy was talking, he was the leader of the seminar, which I don't really know what his name was, and I apologize for that. But he was part of the R Association, which is the Association for Research and Enlightenment. And they have a whole big Edgar Cayce center, I guess you could say, in Virginia Beach. So it's really cool. You should Google him. If you're curious about any of this stuff, Google him. He's like amazing. So anyway. So they were doing this thing, and they were talking about how to sort of raise your vibration and keep it up and that sort of thing, right? So basically, he talked about this in 3 steps. And so I was like, I'm in, you know, because that's like so up my alley. I mean, my God, this was like amazing, right? So the first thing that he said to do, and you all, if you're listening back to this, you might want to like re-listen again after I explain what it is, because it's amazing what this sort of exercise will do. Okay. He talks about finding your ideal aura, right? So, but your ideal aura is it's like how you want to be, right? Do you want to be love? Do you want to emanate peace or joy or compassion, or what do you want to be? Okay. And he went through this whole big thing, and it was really fascinating how he came up with all these things. So what you should do right now, and if you'd like to do this, I think it's fantastic and it's great, right? So think about what you would want to be in the world, okay, in your aura. Your ideal aura, okay? I decided ideal aura, which there's so much to choose from, right? Because I love compassion and I love love and peace. I just love all that, right? I decided that my sort of ideal aura for today anyway was oneness, okay? Oneness. And I thought, you know what? And it's so great because with everything happening in the world, whether it's politically or Mother Nature's fury, I guess you could say, or just your own private life, for me, oneness really struck a chord. So I was like, okay, I've got my ideal aura or emotion, right? Oneness, okay? So then he says, okay, once you have that figured out, then our next thing that we want to do is sort of recognize 4 to 6 maybe attitudes that would create that ideal aura, okay? So the example then, I'll just follow in mine, right? So the example then is what sort of attitudes can I sort of create for myself that would bring about oneness for me, right? So I decided, okay, so obviously compassion, right? Because compassion is, about all of that, okay? And then there's community, right? So to create oneness in my aura would be to have unity. Okay, so I thought, okay, community, right? Great. Then I was thinking, okay, and then the reason why I wanted oneness was because I love the idea of world peace. So then I said, okay, peace. My attitude is going to be peace, right? And if you consider all of those things, if you close your eyes and you consider all of those things, you can see where you can understand where love, compassion, peace, community, all of those things would create oneness, right? If you mix them all together, and if you sort of envelop them, if you create an attitude within yourself of community, then you get that in compassion and peace and love, right? So all of that underneath creates oneness. Right? So I was like, oh, that's so awesome, right? So I'm sitting in this and I'm sort of meditating and I'm sitting back and, I'm just like meditating on it, right? And then he says, okay, so the third thing that you need to do here with this is, what can you do? What is the action that you can take that would create oneness or, whatever your ideal aura is? And so I was like, okay, what could I do to create oneness? So I'm thinking and I'm like, okay, you know what? I am going to, because of course, if you create the oneness, we have to do the oneness. Like if you think, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I could do, this is an action I could do, then I got to do it, right? So I decided today that I was going to smile and say good morning to everybody today, right? So today, here I am walking around going, hi, how are you? Good morning, kind of thing. And I thought that is what creates unity, right? Doesn't that create unity? When you smile, I'll put the shoe on the other foot. If you're grumpy and you're just not in a good mood, it's Monday or it's Tuesday, and you're just not there, like emotionally, you're just not with it. If somebody says to you, if somebody looks you in the eye and says, good morning, it sort of does something, because it's like the person on the other end of that cares about you and sees something where, maybe you need that little oomph, you need that little something So I thought that was cool, right? So, okay, so I did that. Okay, then I was like, okay, what can I do? What else can I do? And I thought, okay, so my next thing that I do is, obviously, if you guys know me, you know that I'm like, I love to meditate, right? I meditate all the time, or I try to anyway. And so I decided I was going to meditate. Now, you can meditate and try to close your mind, right? Or, clear your mind. I shouldn't say close your mind, but like clear your mind of like any thoughts. You could meditate on love. You can meditate. You can find a mantra. And we've talked about that before, right? And I'll probably talk about it again, but, so you could, there's all kinds of stuff that you can meditate on. But today I decided I was going to meditate on peace, right? So here I am meditating on peace. That was my goal for the day, meditate on peace. Okay, so that was great. So I meditated. I did my 15 minutes on peace. Felt so good, And so sure enough, right, when you're doing all of these things and you're considering all of these things, what do you think happens? Your vibration raises, right? And that's your vibration raising is what creates your aura, right? So I was like, this is awesome. So I felt, and I am, I'm really in tune to the Earth's energy. Okay, we already know that, right? So I'm like feeling totally connected to like everybody today. I pulled into the grocery store after I, I had to go do some errands. So I pulled into the grocery store and there was this guy sitting on the back of his car. I think he was waiting for somebody or whatever. And I just felt so connected to him, and it felt like good. It felt like oneness, And then I get home and I start watching, all of the stuff going on with the earthquake that happened. That was a huge earthquake. And, I was actually seeing, I don't know if you guys have seen any of it yet, but I was actually seeing, like, they showed, like, this guy had his iPhone up or whatever, and he was, showing everybody running out of the buildings and stuff. And so everybody's in the middle of the street, and, like, you could see the building swaying, and then all of a sudden this one building just, like, demolished. I mean, it just went into the ground. It just fell apart. And I was like, holy crap, that's like insane, right? So all of these people, and then I started seeing pictures of all of these people helping each other out, kind of like what we heard about in the hurricanes, where everybody was helping each other out to like save their loved ones, and there was human chains being formed to like try to get people out of the rubble. And it's like it's amazing. It's amazing, right? So I feel like that I was able, because of this whole little situation or this whole thing that I was doing, I was able to create oneness. I need my tea. So at any rate, yeah, so that was really, really cool. I just thought that was great, right? Now, I say all of that, okay, because I want to talk today. And again, let me give you the call-in line. If you have a question about what I just talked about, or if if you want to talk about anything, give me a call. The spirit line is open, and it's 818-835-5885. And please feel free to call if you want a reading or something. I've had a spirit with me, I will tell you, for about the last couple hours, and yeah, whew. So at any rate, I always get hot. Not always. A lot of times I get hot when spirit's around. So at any rate, so yeah, so I wanted to share that whole story with you because, and I was trying to go through it succinctly, and I hope I explained it well. And like, that's why I was saying, if you have any questions, please feel free to call me about it, because, I want to talk about happiness. There's so many people. I mean, I do a lot of readings, and I have a lot of people that call me or text me or whatever for questions. Okay. And they talk a lot about, how can I be happier? I really just want to be happier in my life. Okay. And the whole thing is this, we're going to have times where we're really, really happy, and And we're going to have times when we're really, really not happy. So life is about, and I hate to say this, but life is about roller coaster rides, right? And I've said this before too, so if you've heard this before, I apologize. But you know, when you're at the top and you're feeling so awesome, right? You're feeling so great. You're at the top of the roller coaster and you're just like loving life. And then you start inching towards the top and then you start going down. And your stomach drops out. And all of a sudden, and if you're like me, because I'm not a roller coaster person, and if you're like me, you're going, oh my God, get me off this thing. Because yes, that's what I do. Get me off this thing. I don't know what possesses me. Every time I get on one, I think, why am I doing this, right? But at any rate, you have highs, you have lows, and you have the in-between where your stomach drops out, right? So there's going to be good times, there's going to be bad times. There's going to be happiness, there's going to be sadness. You can't just be happy all the time. Okay, so that's point number one. Okay, now it's what you do. This is point number two. It's what you do with those times when you're not happy. It's what you do in those times, okay, that really will get you out of the doldrums, so to speak, okay? You know, first of all, like I said, recognizing that there are highs and lows and that, you know, you're not always going to be happy, but you're not always going to be sad. It's like if you're in a bad place today, there's a real good chance that today or tomorrow or later on or whatever, or in 3 days, you're going to feel on top of the world, okay? So there's that, okay? Then comes to point number three, okay? And this is a tough one to talk about, okay? You know, sometimes I think, and there are some of us that, you know, well, first of all, before I get to number three, I just want to say that a lot of people, I call myself a happy medium, intuitive, and life advisor, okay? And happiness seeker, actually, too. And you know what? The bottom line is that I'm not always happy. People look at me and they say, oh my God, you're like always up and you're always happy. Well, guess what? I'm not. I'm human, you know? I'm human too. Everybody has their thing. Everybody has their ups and downs, okay? So I wanted to say that because I've had throughout my life, I'm old enough now to say that I can say this, I guess, but throughout my life, I've had issues, I guess, with people who don't quite understand that you know, I just because I choose to not share my sadnesses sometimes doesn't mean I don't have them, right? So we all have this. Okay, I will say that. All right, so anyway, here's the question I want to put forth, especially to us older folk. I know I'm not incredibly old, but, you know, here's the deal. We need to ask ourselves the question, do we really want to be happy all the time? Do we really want to be happy, period? I know, that sounds really weird. Why would anybody say no? Why would anybody, and I'm sure you're asking yourself right now, why would anybody say no to like, I want to be happy? But the reality is, we've got to be true to ourselves. We've got to be truthful with ourselves. Do we want to be happy? Think that through. Do you really want happiness? How do you feel about that? Or is it easier to be not happy? Is it just easier to be in that place of, really? I don't want to be, what? You know, this is comfortable. It's comfortable. You know what? I have my friends that listen to me all the time, bitch and complain. Sorry, I used the B word, I guess. But, you know, they just, you know, consider that. Sometimes it's easier just to be complaining and to be unhappy. Does that strike a chord with any of you guys? Because you know what? It does with me, okay? I talk to a lot of different people. I have a lot of clients, and I give a lot of readings. And sometimes you just got to have that truth put in front of your face a little bit, you know? So yeah, think that through for just a minute, right? Think that through. Because here's the deal. If you're stuck in that and you're thinking to yourself, you know, I do kind of like, it's a safe place to be for me. You know, I don't know how to act if I'm happy. A lot of people tell me that. I don't know how to act if I'm like happy. It doesn't feel right. Well, guess what? Do you want that? Do you really, like, you need to decide, do you really want happiness in your life or do you not? That's the question. Okay. So yeah. All right. Now, what I want to say about that is, to further that conversation is this. If you decide that you really, truly want more happiness in your life and you want to break free of those chains, there are lots of things that can be done, okay? There are lots of things that can be done to help that. There really are, okay? A couple of things off the top of my head, okay? And not off really the top of my head because they're like things that everybody knows. These are like things that you know to do when you're sad or whatever, but you know, sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't, kind of thing, you know? So, okay, so the first thing that I like to say is that, you know what? It's okay to be sad. It's okay to sit in it for a period of time. A short period of time is what I like to say, okay? It's okay. Sitting in the sadness is not a bad thing to do, okay? But we don't want to sit there too long, okay? What we want to do is create ways for ourselves, things that would work for us, okay? For me, I'm about to tell you my list of things that work for me to get me out of that icky place and into a happier place, okay? You have to find your own things. It could be some of mine. You could create your own. So, my number one thing to do is gratitude. And I talk about gratitude all the time, kind of like I talk about meditation all the time, right? I talk about meditation all the time, and I know people get irritated with that, but it's true, right? At any rate, let's talk about gratitude. Let's talk about writing down or at least thinking every day. You can put a reminder on your phone. What are the 5 things I'm grateful for today, right? You can put a reminder on your phone. It's easy, okay? What are the 5 things I'm grateful for today? And you know what? You don't want to necessarily do, I'm grateful for my life and my house and my car. Okay, I'm grateful for all those things too, but you know what? If you really want to change, then let's get a little creative. Okay, so you're going to laugh. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Oh my God. Well, you know, when I started this show and I started my radio show way back when, I'm going to bring my life to this, right? Here's my deal. I am having a baked potato for dinner, and I could not be more happy and grateful I'm having a baked potato for dinner. For some reason, I never eat baked potatoes. I do not know why, but I don't. I don't buy them that often, right? So I'm having a baked potato for dinner. I am so grateful for that. So there you go. That's my one thing, right? I am grateful. I'm grateful for this tea. This tea is awesome tea, by the way. It's peppermint tea from Trader Joe's, right? I'm grateful for that tea. I'm grateful that I'm sitting here doing the show. Oh my God, you guys have no idea how excited I am and how grateful I am to be doing this show, talking to you. Yeah, so seriously. You know, that's 3 right off the top of my head. And look at me. I don't know if you can see that my demeanor has changed. I was a little down today, just a little bit melancholy. And I'm already feeling like sitting here talking about the things that I'm really grateful for. I'm also grateful for these roses. I just went to the store and bought these roses for $5. I got, like, I think a dozen roses for $5. Who does that? Oh my God, you know, so that's 4, right? And 5 is, let's see, what's 5? What's 5? Oh, you know what? My dog. So grateful for my dog. His name's Clifford, and he's sitting in the other room, and he is happy. He is very old, and he's just happy today, and I love that, right? I'm so grateful for that. He's like my guy. He is like totally my guy, right? So at any rate, there you go. 5 things right off the top of my head, and look at me. I feel like, wish you could be in my head. Those of you that have had readings by me know that I use that term a lot because I wish people could be in my head just for 5 minutes. It's a scary place, I know, but you know. So at any rate, 5 things, right? Okay, so that's one thing that you can do, and it's already, and I'm sitting here doing it, and it's already changed my demeanor. I feel like I'm sitting up straighter. I'm so happy. It just is what it is, right? So, okay, another thing you can do. This is always, well, okay, and I will just say you can meditate, and I'm just going to leave it at that. If you meditate for 10 minutes a day, changes everything. It does. It changes everything, right? So 10 minutes a day meditating. Okay, so gratefuls, meditation, and that's the way it goes, right? Okay, so next thing that you could do, and this works for me in an instant, literally an instant, okay? Music, okay? Now, I used to be in the music industry, so and I used to be a musician, so that probably gives you a little bit of hint as to how important music is to me in the first place anyway. But so, yeah, so music to me is like everything. Music is everything to me. I love listening to music. I listen to all kinds of music. I listen to rap. I listen to classical. I listen to, you know what my favorite is right now is like Indian music. And I love Native American music, but I'm talking like Indian music, I can't think of them. I can't think of the instrument, but whatever. Okay, so yeah, so I listen to pop music, I listen to rock, I listen to it all. So any one of those songs, depending on what mood I'm in, can just change me like that. Okay, when I hear the song "Fragile" by Sting, who is one of my favorite artists, like of all time, okay? When I hear the song Fragile by Sting, that puts me in a place of oneness with the world and community, okay? Because it talks about how fragile we are. Our bodies are fragile. Our life is fragile. We are fragile, okay? Okay, so I need to stop this for just a second, and I want to tell you, somebody is calling with an unknown number. And because of some issues that we had in the past, I don't pick up unknown number calls. So if you're calling and you want to talk to me, you got to go to a number where I can see what your number is. So there. Sorry, but it's true, So at any rate, yeah, so music, it does everything to me. I can, when I hear the song, oh my God. Well, first of all, when I hear certain songs, you're going to laugh when you hear me say this. When I hear, and I think I've said this before, but when I hear Dancing Queen by ABBA, I cry like a baby. Don't ask me why I cry, right? It's a crying thing. I just love that song. Love that song. And it just makes me feel like I am free. I am totally free. My world is awesome, right? So there you go. So put on a song that just does it for you. You need to, I guess, first determine what song it is that does it for you. So, yeah. So it's fantastic. It's like, it's easy to do, right? Those few things, easy to do. And you know what? Here's the thing about these. And I'm going to tell you one more. And what I want to say about this is this. You don't have to tell anybody what you're doing. You can do it all on your own. I mean, that's the thing. You can do this all on your own. You don't, you can tell your friends or you can not tell your friends. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, so here's the other thing. And this is, and then I'll cut this off, right? But, oh my gosh. Oh, we do have a call. We do have a caller. Hi there, you are live on the air with Lauri Albert. Who am I speaking to? Hello? I can't hear you. So I can't hear you. So if you want to call me back. So there you go. We try, right? We do our best. We try. So at any rate, okay. So here's this. The last thing I'm going to say about this part is another thing that can really help to get you into the ideal aura. I love that, is affirmations. Affirmations can be amazing to do, right? And they feel really wrong, and they feel like they're a big fat lie at the beginning sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. They feel like they're a big fat lie at the beginning, right? If you say to yourself, and, you know, you are beautiful, and, you know, that's hard to say to yourself. You know, it's easy to say to other people, like, I love your hair, I love your face, you're so beautiful, you know, but guess what? Say that to yourself in the mirror and see what happens. You are beautiful. And I mean that sincerely. You are beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to try to pick up this call. Hopefully I can hear them this time. Hi there, you're live on the air with Lauri. Can I help you? Who am I speaking to? Huh, I wonder why I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I can't hear you. Everything is up. I don't think it's on my end. So I'm so sorry, but I don't think it's on my end. I think it's on your end. The quality is speaker. Yeah, everything is good on my end. So I am so sorry I can't speak to you. I guess it wasn't supposed to be. Hate to say it that way, but I can't hear you. So there you go. Thanks for calling anyway. So I feel so bad. I don't know what to do, but at any rate, I tested my Skype before the show, so I know that it's working. Sorry about that. At any rate, okay. So yeah, so go into your bedroom, go into your bathroom, and look at yourself in the mirror and say, you are beautiful. Love that. Let's try that. I'm going to do it too. I'm going to do it too, because it's not easy to do, right? So, or find something else. You know, say, I love you. Say, I love you to yourself in the mirror. That's kind of frightening. But, you know, so, yeah. So, at any rate, so, yeah. You know, I have to say that it's just... It is what it is, you know? It is what it is, because you have to make the decision. It's your decision. So, that all being said, I'm going to put that conversation sort of to bed, right, for today. If you have any questions about that, or you want to talk about it, please give me a call, or, you know, we can schedule a session about it, because it's really, really important. Okay. It's a really important conversation to have. So all of that being said, I have I used to do a radio show years and years ago, and I would do a segment called Silly Spirit Stories. Okay. And I just love doing my silly spirit stories, right? As I have a huge pocket full of them, because, you know, for some reason, when I was first really doing some serious training in this, the craziest, weirdest things would happen to me, right? There would be the weirdest things happen to me all the time, right? With spirits, different things. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm an empath, so I feel a lot of times I can, and I have, and this is like, this is actually a good thing. It helps me in my readings, is that I'm an empath, so I take on sometimes the attitude and all of that of the spirit, you know. So one time I was in a spirit circle. This is a long time ago, right? I was in a spirit circle, and I did, we were opening up, right? And that's like right when we're first starting the spirit circle, we sort of do a meditation where we open up our chakras and just get in touch with spirit, and we raise our energy so that we can communicate with the spirit world or whatever. So, and that maybe 5-10 minutes, something like that. It's not that long of a thing. So here I am sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm just like, I really don't want to be here. Like, I mean, once I throw myself into something, I don't ever feel that way about it too much. I mean, I really just didn't want to be there. And, you know, we're sitting there, and everybody's sitting there in a nice, like, meditative position. And I just sat back, and I went like this. and I start slouching, right? I'm like, literally, I'm slouching. I'm sitting there going, ugh. I was, by the end of the meditation, I hadn't meditated, and I was irritated as all freaking get out. Okay? I was so not happy. I was so not happy. And I don't think I realized that it was a spirit. Oh, I have another caller, and I'll finish that story in a minute because I'd love to take a call or two. Hi there, this is Lauri. You're live on the air. Who am I speaking to?
Melvin O'Haver.
What is your name?
Melvin, Melvin O'Haver.
Hi, Melvin. How are you tonight?
All right.
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Well, my wife came in the thing and said, call us a priest for reading or whatever.
Your wife did what?
Well, she did it, and then she told me to do it.
Oh, really? That's great. And it's always blaming the wife, right?
Yeah.
Is there somebody specific that you wanted to try to contact? That's
yeah, my brother Mike.
Your brother Mike is in the
Yeah.
spirit. Okay, so I'm hopeful that this is the same spirit because as about
his name's Michael Sean O'Haver.
Michael. Okay.
And his middle name's Sean.
Sean. Okay. So for about an hour or so before the show started, I had a spirit with me, and I have a feeling that this might be your brother, and his energy's starting to come in, and it's getting stronger, it feels like. So, did he have, like, I was sort of having chest issues, like, sort of a little bit of trouble breathing, but there was something going on in my chest. Did your brother have chest issues?
Yeah, he died of a heart attack.
Oh, it was a heart attack. Okay, because it was.
Yeah, because I had my big one when I was 30, and I already died and came back.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Yeah, I died.
Wow.
I was dead for 7 minutes.
Oh my gosh! Now, do you remember that?
Yeah, because when I was up there, my dad was there, my uncle, and my grandfather. And they're in a white room, and they all looked at me and said, "It's not your time." And my uncle pushed me, and I woke up back in the bed, and my wife's in there, "Don't move, you had a major heart attack." And I go, "Yeah, right." And I looked down and seen all the staples.
Oh.
So I told my brother, I says, "Mike, don't ever be scared. I've been there and I've been back."
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. And you know what? I have to tell you, his energy is really strong. And I don't know if you can see that I'm sweating. I get really hot when I give readings and stuff sometimes, but oh my gosh, he is just like, he's got this like whole like.
Well, me and my little brother were real close. I'm the oldest.
Okay,
he was the baby.
What he's showing me right now is that, like, I feel like I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, but I'm just going to give it to you. But I feel like that he's just giving you like this big bear hug right now. Like he's just.
Yeah, because I just had the third heart attack the first year.
Oh my gosh. He's giving you, your brother is giving you a big bear hug right now. And you know what? He's talking about how it's still not your time. It is still not your time. And yeah. He's talking to me about how fortunate he feels that he was able to have like a family. I feel like that your family was really close. I know that you're, I am so hot. I feel like that, you know, you and your brother were close, but your family was really close too, yeah?
Yeah, well, just me and him.
Well,
he enjoyed his nieces and nephews.
Okay. Because I feel a real strong family connection. I feel like the family was really, really strong.
Yeah, because my sister died just before him.
Oh my gosh.
And my mom.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to tell you, he is giving you in spirit like this. I see him sort of like almost like jumping on you, giving you this like amazing like bear hug, and he's just amazing. Did he wear glasses? Because I'm seeing like square glasses. I'm seeing square glasses. He is making me so hot. But
yeah, he had glasses.
I'm seeing the square glasses, and I feel like that did he like to do like any sort of, there's a reason why I'm asking this, because I feel like that I have like one of those like flannel coats on. Maybe that's why he's making me so hot.
Yeah, he always wore because he rode his motorcycle a lot.
Okay, so he's got like this like sort of flannel type coat on, right? And he is just, those are like validations that he wanted me to give to you so that you realize that it is actually him. He is so happy on the other side, and he is.
He's with our mom and his sister.
Yeah, I feel like that him and your mother were pretty close. I feel like that.
Oh yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
Me and him were real close to my mom.
Yeah, I feel like that there was like, I don't want to say mama's boy, but like I feel like that there was like
we both were.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. But you know what? I just feel like that, you know, you have lives yet to touch is what he's saying to me. He's talking to me about how your time isn't coming up anytime soon because you have lives to touch. He's talking about do you do some sort of like service work or like charity work?
No, I don't.
But have you in the past, maybe?
No, I used to work as a seafood manager and a grill cook.
Okay. He's talking to me about some like charitable or so you haven't done actual charitable work or like you didn't work for a charity or anything like that. But I feel like that you're helpful to other people. Like I feel like that you like to help people that are just kind of, I don't want to say downtrodden, but like you're there. You're the type of person that would give somebody the shirt off their back if they needed it, is what he's telling me.
Pretty much.
And you still have some of that work yet to do. There are lives that are going to be touched by you. Oh, I love that. Yeah, he's telling me that, and he's like, and you have no idea what an amazing this guy is. He's like, my brother there is nobody like him. If you needed him to drive 16 hours to go pick you up, he would do it. He would drop everything and go do it.
Yeah.
Or, that sort of thing. I feel like that there may have been a situation like that with you and your brother at one point in your life.
Yeah, I did one time. He was stranded out on the interstate when his motor slid into a ditch and I had to go get him.
Okay, that's what he's taught. That must be what he's referencing, I'm sure. That's so hysterical. That's great. He's talking about how much he appreciates you. Just absolutely appreciates you. And he never wants you. He's telling me he knows that that you have felt maybe
I always tell him at night, I says, Mike, you can come and visit me in my dreams.
Aww. And they do. They absolutely do, Melvin. And you know what? Don't ever like count that out because they do come to talk to you in your dreams. Okay? Don't ever count that out. He's telling me right now that sometimes you feel like that you're a little bit lonely because it seems like everybody else has sort of crossed over. And I know you have family here still, but he's saying that but he wants you to know that there's no rush. He's saying that there is no rush. That you have so many lives.
Basically, everybody looks up to me. I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. You're the patriarch of the family now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like seeing my sister and me for 1 week. We're the same age. She just turned 60.
Yeah.
Then the next following week, the 26th, I turned 61.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, you know what? I just sense this huge sense of love with your family, and your brother is here. But it's interesting. I'm not, and don't make this mean anything because it doesn't mean anything, but like, I'm not sensing your sister, but I am sensing your mother. And that doesn't necessarily mean that she's not there. Don't think that, because that's just sometimes certain people come through.
I always dream of Mom and my dad.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that your dad was a little less outspoken than your mother. Was your mother
an alcoholic.
He was a what?
My dad was an alcoholic and a woman chaser.
Oh, really? But I feel like that your mother was a pretty strong woman, though. Was your mother very strong?
Well, she's what kept the families going together.
Right. Yep. And she's talking about how she, your brother's very outspoken. I feel like your brother was a talker, and he was somebody, he had a great personality. I'm just sensing this amazing personality of your brother. It's really kind of cool. And he's talking about how, actually he's talking about how you are a lot like your mom in that whole strength thing. And he's like, this is what he's saying to me.
And my sister are much like my mom.
What's that? Your sister was?
Yeah, me and my sister.
I feel like
right now are more like my mom.
Yeah.
My brother and my sister were more like, and when they passed away, were more like my dad.
Right. Okay. I really feel like that you are so strong. Your brother Michael is telling me about how strong you are, and to have had the amount of heart attacks that you've had, and to have come back,
bounce back.
That's like
I rehab myself back.
Yep. And I feel like that, and I'm sure that this happens a lot when this happens to people, but it really changed you, didn't it?
When I died the first time?
Yeah. It changed you, didn't it?
I told my brother I'm not scared.
Yeah. Right. I love that. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't it make you help to live your life more? It helps you to live more fully, So let me see what else Michael wants to say. I feel like it's your mother and your brother are like two peas in a pod up there. That's really great. It's really fun.
I always tell them, I say, come on, Mom, because Mom always liked to gamble when we would win. They go, come to my dreams and tell me the numbers for the lottery.
You know what? I wish it worked like that. I don't know why they give us what they give us, and I don't know why they can't give us lottery numbers. It just makes me so frustrated.
Well, my mom, she used to go into the boat. She'd spend $500 and worry about how she was going to get back. And then she'd hit all the dollar slots, and on the way out, by God, she'd hit it. And win everything back that she lost.
That's great. That's awesome. That's great. And you know what? That was the way her luck was her whole life, I feel like. She was like that her whole life. When push came to shove, I feel like she just was able to do whatever needed to be done at any given moment, That's what I feel like she's telling me. And she was a strong, strong lady. There was no, I
always wondered about the surroundings of his death.
About what?
The surroundings of how he died.
Let's see.
His wife said that he was complained and then he ran out and just died.
Oh, wow. That's your brother?
Yeah, but I think he was doing a lot of stupid shit he shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, don't we all? But you know what though? Yeah, like I was telling you, I don't know. He's not telling me any of that. Sometimes they don't want to share about how they passed. Sometimes it's very personal to them. So sometimes they don't want to share that. But I really feel like that he's just making me feel this whole chest issue. And it's so funny. Isn't it interesting how spirit works? Because he knew you were going to end up calling in. And he's been with me for a couple hours. And it's been interesting, so it's really kind of cool. But I have to say that he just loves you. And your mother cannot say enough beautiful things about you. And I feel like that your brother just sort of jumped into your arms and gave you this big bear hug. And your mom is
he's always invited my dreams.
Aw. And your mother is just standing there, just smiling, and you just have a really, really lovely, beautiful family. Beautiful family.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for the call. I wish you the best. And they are with you all the time. And ask them to come to you in your dreams every night, and hopefully they will. Okay?
All right.
Great. Thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. And have yourself a fantastic evening.
All right.
Thanks, Melvin. Bye-bye. Oh, my gosh. I love that. Oh, my gosh. This is why I do what I do. Because I love to connect people together that that need those messages. So that was really beautiful. Melvin, thank you for having the courage to call in, because a lot of people don't have the courage to call in. So I appreciate that. That's really cool. So, so I will tell you, I'll finish telling you my story, my silly spirit story. And then I guess we'll wrap things up. But, this spirit was so super funny. It was hysterical. So he was, okay, so here we are at our circle and we were opening up. And I'm just sitting there like this, like I'm just irritated that I had to be there. And I'm sitting there like, oh man, this sucks. I really don't want to be here. I almost got up and walked out. Now that would have been the wrong thing to do, obviously, right? So we open everything up and I said, I need to say this because I need to walk out. Okay, I think I'm going to go. And they were like, no, why? And I said, I just don't want to be here. And they were like, you sure that's not a spirit? And so I sat down in meditation, and sure enough, it was a spirit. He was there begrudgingly. There was somebody there who really wanted to hear from whoever it was, whether it was the uncle or I don't remember who it was because it was years ago. And he was like, all right, fine, I'll come through. He was not happy about it. And he was giving me this information. And sure enough, this uncle, I'll just say it was an uncle, I'm pretty sure it was. And this uncle was like, and I was like, he is not happy he's here. He doesn't like being here. He doesn't like to do what other people want him to do. And sure enough, this person, everything I said about this grumpy spirit that I had with me was like, oh yeah, that was him. Oh yeah, that was him. That was him. And so sure enough, but it was funny because I really took on that attitude of, who is this guy? And I was like, I don't want to be here anymore, man. I want to go to bed. I want to have a glass of wine. I want to go to bed. That's what I felt like. I was just like, I'm out of here. I just want to go, so it was really funny. So I just, I always laugh about spirits because you never know who you're going to get, right? I had Melvin's brother here for at least an hour before the show started. You never know who you're going to get. And I felt like I could feel like trouble breathing, but it didn't quite feel like my lungs, it felt. And so he said that it was a heart attack. So very interesting. I just, I thought that was really, really interesting. So a lot of fun tonight. I hope that you got something out of the talk about happiness tonight, because it really is within our grasp, you guys. It is within your grasp. Okay. And you can create whatever you want out of your life. It's true. It's true. And it sucks when people tell you that. You can be whatever you want to be, but you know what? It's so true. So I'm going to leave you with that. Next week, I am going to talk about the root chakra. I'm going to talk about grounding, and I'm going to talk about how to sage your house, to clear your house, clear your space from stagnant or negative energy. Okay, I sage my house like all the time. My husband just loves that. Just kidding, he does not love that. So tune in next week. We're going to talk about saging and grounding and all of that kind of fun stuff, getting rid of negative energy. So anyway, so thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you to Melvin for calling in. I really appreciate it. And you know what? I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And have a great evening. And everybody stay happy.
Thank you for watching Spiritually Speaking with Lauri Albert.